All right. You are locked down to Hype TV Sports. Zunya Lula Aluzumba Dale, and Ashara August Gwale Obia Peta Yenka Yunu 2025 Katia Piana, Nitito Bosse, Zanta, Meshan Kwarka Behra, Tidimani Jama Pune. Zunyelman Yellow Sharon Gas, Bankas will Sama Dapsima UEFA Champions League draws Masanyela Meshao, then sat Tam Canelo Ka Ankumi a club, be Ankumi Major Club Shabma, Kabaza opponents ma karno available curtains and turn right here on Hype TV Sports. Ngin bonde Hussein Redwan Pine. Muba yen tap son wakati zanzu mo jima zampire. Muba
Mm,
karabe wala
I love Fabian.
abon chana.
So UEFA Champions League draw it happened last night. That was around 4 p.m. So for the sake of education and some clarities, we just need to clarify how this year's UCL will happen. The group phase. So unlike last two seasons when we had 32 teams competing in the Champions League. This year it will be 36 teams. So first it was 32, so now it will be 36. And each teams will be facing its unique opponents and will not have that phase of a home and away match. So ka tanapo Milisham Sango Chelsea ba na face Barcelona then ama bebele in face ba wada bu face ba mo home be away ba na face ba yam bebele in face ba so lion yellow and it will apply or it will imply to all the 36 teams. Each team will be playing 8 unique uh, opponents, 4 home and 4 away. And just for more clarification, if a team is in England, there is no way they are going to face their opponents in the group stages in the same league. So Barcelona cannot face Real Madrid simply because Bazayim na Spain, and Liverpool will not face Chelsea simply because Bazayim na England. So Lanya you know group phase ma. I cannot tell you last season ma kada so nirba na mala confusion about how this group stages works. So that's just the clarity. But before we go into the draw, the teams were grouped into 4 pots. So 4 pots respectively, and it was grouped based on their FIFA rankings and their performance. So if you see your team, in pot two, it's simply because of their club ranking and of course their previous performance and the achievement that they've received. Your team might win the Europa League, but they will be maybe in pot three simply because of their recent performance and their club ranking. Chelsea was in pot one and they were not there because they won the UEFA Conference League, or maybe they won the Club World Cup. It was simply because of their club rankings and their recent performance and of course the squad value also come into place. So that's just tips going into these draws. But the draws were revealed successfully, and each teams now know when and where they are going to face their opponents. So let's get into it. Red one.
If you come and see in the pot one yesterday, we had Paris Saint Germain in pot one, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Inter Milan, Chelsea, Borussia Dortmund, NFC Barcelona. Pot two Antisamala Arsenal, Leverkusen, Atletico de Madrid, Benfica, Atlanta Bergamo, Villarreal, Juventus, Eintracht Frankfurt, Lampard, Club Brugge of Belgium. Pot 3 Antisamala Tottenham Hotspur, PSV Eindhoven, Ajax Amsterdam, Napoli, Sporting CP, Olympiacos, Slava Praha, Bodo Glimt, Lampard, Olympique de Marseille. Pot 4 Antisamala Portfort Antisamala Copenhagen, Monaco, Galatasaray, Union Saint-Gilloise, Karabakh, Atletico Club Bilbao, Newcastle United, Pafos, Antrampahe, Kairat Almaty. Vonama Nisa Pusham, Mbala Swahmada, Zinsanaka, Basanon Drosma in the UEFA Champions League 2025-26 group stages. So, technically, after the draws, Arsenal the Gunners, opponent Shabian face Mbono, Bayern Munich, Benyabala home. Kachang away to Italy, team Inter Milan, Kanye Atletico Madrid, home, Camry Club Brugge away, Olympiacos home, Camry Slava Praha away, Camry Hayrat Almaty home, Kanan Kantinami Athletic Club Bilbao away. Then Canton Chelsea the Blues, Chelsea Daimler FC Barcelona home, Camry Bayern Munich, Camry Benfica, Camry Atalanta, Ajax, Napoli, Pafos, Internal Paris, Karabakh, Moba, Jakarta, Barcelona, Internal Paris Liverpool, Team Shabansa draw exactly.
So just before we go into the Magba, Barcelona and Liverpool respectively their draws, we just want to highlight something. So Chelsea, both I mean opponents in group phase, but first opponents and yeah, the Magba from the same post, Banasanye Barcelona. So I mean match mama the whole football world. Toko here pam match mama so because both sides. I mean the supporting club, even just 1 hour to the draw. But I show you Chelsea camp na better training ground and but I players man, individual players man, but captain Resi James, Jao, Pedro, and of course keeper man on but possible do my opponents. Bumbar na be face do my team shaba. And just because of I mean that do my doubts in the man about which club is better. And to Tony Chelsea fans pam during World Cup masa with the performance Danya from FC Barcelona by defense leakages man. But also pam kabe never bother the magba Barcelona never because of the highline ma. So somehow officially and it will be taking place at the Stamford Bridge. So game one it will be promising to be I mean very interesting because of I mean all those I mean this saga and I tend to lay Champions League history opponent clapping the mayong bande to face the part dial game. And normally just I mean for a spoiler, clap your band to go into this I mean kind of game between FC Barcelona and Chelsea of course. Underdogs yaba bango into that game bananto winner but the will stop the game from being interesting and of course tedious. So that's just for I mean clarity and I mean other things. So game one it will be very interesting. Barcelona, Chelsea. It is a game that we must I mean watch into. So if we check in the same pot, we had I mean another draw the I mean most successful club when it comes to the UCL group stage, which was I mean Real Madrid. Cabo opponent senior from the same pot, the same they will facing Manchester City home. That will be at the Santiago Bernabeu. Liverpool away. They will be going to Anfield to play this game. Then they'll be going to Juventus. Juventus will be coming at the Santiago Bernabeu. That will be their second home game. Then they'll be facing Benfica, Olympic Marseille, Olympiacos, Monaco, and of course Hayrat Almaty. So Real Madrid draws Nisakunye Shambala. And if you check both I mean greatest opponents ever, Bananye Liverpool. Liverpool, as we all know, because I mean Tarihi Zankpa, I mean UCL Ngoma, as Bane Kamata Napunya in 2005. Liverpool, I mean greatest comeback in the UCL final ever. So they were down by 3 goals to 0 against AC Milan that year, and they were able to come back to make the game 3-3, and they went to penalties and they won. So just for another clarity, Liverpool were the underdogs by having only 4 I mean players that were I mean being called world class players there. That was a person of I mean Steven Gerrard, Xabi Alonso, Kite, and of course Jamie Carragher. So that was the I mean players. So they'll be facing Real Madrid, Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid, Frankfurt, PSV, Olympic Marseille, Karabakh, and of course Galatasaray. So and a whole lot. So if we come and check the I mean Barcelona fixtures, as we've already said, they'll be facing Chelsea. That will be at the Stamford Bridge. They'll facing Paris Saint-Germain. Bananye do Magba holding champions. And game one Magba is I mean it will be one of the most intense and of course like if offensively the no good pump. So like short thing you not done the pump. I'm just giving spoilers towards this game. So Bonfesi PSG, Chelsea, Frankfurt, Club Brugge, Olympiacos, Slava Praha, Copenhagen, of course, Newcastle, and game one magba Nero Pam layer limit to be I mean like just a walkthrough for by Barcelona. But trust me, that be in a walkthrough. Barcelona bane to kuchang Newcastle until Slake Newcastle dying Jibame. So it's a game that people should watch out for. So we'll just walk through Chelsea and of course Manchester City and Arsenal their fixtures. And for the sake of our Ghanaian brothers for Mohamed Kudus, we will just brush through the fixtures of Tottenham Hotspurs too. So you will take us through that.
Thank you, to Tottenham Hotspurs. The first match Daniela Borussia Dortmund home, PSG away, Villarreal home, Eintracht Frankfurt away, Slavia Praha home, Bodo Glimt away, Copenhagen of Denmark home, and Monaco of France away. Manchester City, Josep Pep Guardiola side, they will be facing Borussia Dortmund home, Real Madrid away, Leverkusen home, Villarreal away, Napoli home, Bodo Glimt away, Galatasaray of Turkey home, and Monaco of France away. And let me take you through the date of the UEFA Champions League when it will be kick starting. The first match will come on 16th to 18th September 2025. The second match will come on 30th September to 1st October 2025. The third match will come on 21st to 22nd of October 2025. The fourth match 4th to 5th November. The fifth match 25th and 26th of November. The sixth match will come on 9th and 10th December, and the seventh match will come on 20th and 21st January 2026. And last but not the least, match day 8 of the group stages will come on 8th, that's 28th January 2026. And the knockout phase draws will come on 30th January 2026. The round of 16th and the quarterfinals, semi-finals will come on 27th February 2026. And round of 16th will come on 10th to 11th March and 17th to 18th March, respectively. And also, the quarterfinals will commence on April 7th to 8th and April 14th to April 15th. And the semi-finals will also come on April 28th to April 29th, and May 5th and May 6th will be the semi-finals. And the final will come on 30th May 2025 at Puskas Arena in Budapest, Hungary. So these are just the days of the group stages and the round of 16th, quarterfinals, and the semi-finals and the finals as well. So let's wrap up with the UEFA Champions League draws. Last season, PSG and Inter Milan game finals, a lot of people were saying that if it were to be FC Barcelona, that the match wouldn't have gone the way it went in the final. We saw a very huge margin of goals that were 5-0 in favor of PSG. So Muba, this year's Champions League, last year Champions League final, a lot of people had that conception that because it wasn't FC Barcelona, that was why Inter Milan lost by that huge margin of goals. So in this year, we are we are lucky to be having Barcelona and PSG played in the UEFA Champions League group stages. And what's your take on this year's Champions League, especially Barcelona and PSG? As last season, people had that feelings that because it wasn't Barcelona, that was why the goals were huge. So this year, Barcelona PSG, what's your take on that match?
So Barcelona PSG to be interesting. They're not very interesting point because both clubs ma highly offensively but couldn't good with the attack of Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Lewandowski, and of course Banang reinforcement. Shall as we all know, Barcelona struggle when it comes to transfer, but the most stop for making reinforcements mostly but depend on the academy map and they don't feel them. So Tinya with the arrival of Marcus Rashford and I mean one thing niraba na bi lihi pam nyɛla Barcelona bi fitness ŋɔ maa, it has really helped them a lot. Their players don't get, I mean, injury that much. So like the front three ma been very consistent the, I mean, front row of Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Lewandowski, and I check it the same thing applies to PSG. The front row of Dumagba, Dembele, Desiree Duo, and of course Kavicha Kvaratskhelia. Like three players come on, it is very, I mean, so games come on, it will be, let's say Dumagba rival game on Kunyele. Dembele in face of former club and Katum Misham, there were a lot of sagas surrounding this Dembele, I mean, issue when he was about to leave Barcelona. So there were a lot of, I mean, complaints, I mean, his attitude wise and all of that. So game one, it will be very interesting. So, but the best team on school winning coach is smart, but they do but tactics. Everyone will be going into that game with, I mean, both own tactics. So it's just about, I mean, tactics man. Want to know all homework venyananga want to win the game man. But we cannot say that maybe Barcelona Ira and me, Branandi PSG or something like that. You just need to, I mean, look at the way both teams play because Bazan Mala complete squad. Just that PSG to Melody Magba players from the bench. PSG bane nang substitution. Ben Yero Soma ben to Kacharo Soma, they are just, I mean, the same. Bane ko yere Daziru Duo to Kachare Bakola. The same style of play nyele. There is nothing, I mean, different about them. Bane yere afoma Dumagba Kavecha Kavarestele to ka Zano Suba Charna is the same. Mid Bane Dumagba Sun Magba is the same. Kama tum bane tum and even I got to lay nyangma the man nang somehow complete Barcelona because of Ashraf Hakimi, women Nuno Mendes. So the game will be very interesting. Just that PSG at this point been a lakara goalkeeper. That's the only vacant position or maybe vulnerable position that we can, I mean, point out from this PSG squad. But aside that, they have a good coach, they have a very strong Dimagba side, and of course, Barcelona, but the same thing. Just that Barcelona consider them like petty goals, and you can't stand, I mean, conceding against a PSG side or even making silly mistakes because mistake will come near a goal and the PSG Banma. So both coaches, when they do their homework very well, it will be an interesting game. But in all this UCL, I mean, Champions League, especially this group phase will be very interesting, and of course that's what we look out for when it is, I mean, UCL season. So that's just my general take about this UCL, I mean, group phase, and of course the competition at large. So that's just it.
Okay, so let's see how this year's Champions League will unfold in the coming days and months. So this is where we draw the curtains of today's edition of Hype TV Sports on Hype Media TV. I am Hussein Rodwan Umpini and I was accompanied by Muba. We are out, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips. And also don't forget to turn on the notification button. We are out. Salam. Bye bye.